Hello all and welcome back to the Deferrals Baseball Podcast. I'm Matt Higgins along with my co-host Matt Johnson. How you doing today, Matt?
I'm doing great. The real opening day is here. Baseball at a reasonable time of day, and that's all we could ask for as baseball fans. I'm happy.
I know I'm very excited about my Phillies kicking off the season later this week, and I'm also excited about the show we have for you in store today. We got Keith McPherson from WFAN Radio up in New York. He's going to be talking about the Yankees. On top of that, we're going to go through Matt's top MLB rotation rankings for the season. We'll also do a quick MLB season preview, giving you our picks about who will make the playoffs and who will win the World Series. And we'll also slide into my bold predictions I had for all 30 Major League Baseball teams. Don't worry, we will not go through all 30. And to cap it all off, we will do our favorite, Immaculate Grid. Ready to start this off, Matt?
I'm absolutely geared up for this. Let's go.
All right. We're going to kick it off with our interview with Keith. Welcome back to the Deferrals. And we have a fantastic guest for us this week talking some Yankees baseball with Keith McPherson, host of WFAN Radio, nighttime host from 7 p.m. to midnight, Monday through Friday. How you doing today, Keith?
What's up, guys? I'm good. Thanks for having me. It's opening day eve, so we're getting close to all the talking and guessing and hoping and wishing coming to an end. Let the games begin so we actually have like real baseball to talk about and discuss and comb through.
Yes, we are very excited, and thanks again for joining. First question for you. Obviously, with like the rash of injuries that the Yankees are dealing with right now, Garrett Cole gone for the season, Luis Gil gone until June, Clark Schmidt now out, and then not knowing when Giancarlo Stanton might be back due to like his elbow issues. What's your current expectations for this Yankees team, and what is your confidence level in the lineup and rotation right now?
Yeah, well, every year as a Yankee fan, it's World Series or bust. Every year people expect the Yankees to go to the World Series, and they actually did get to the World Series last year, but added another World Series loss. So they ended the drought of appearances. They ended the AL pennant drought, and like that feels good, but at the same time, the way that they lost in the World Series was devastating, embarrassing, the worst feeling in the world. So the bar was set at get back to the World Series and win it before we got into spring training, before we learned about Stanton, Gil, DJ LeMahieu, Garrett Cole, Clark Schmidt. And so now I think people are kind of pulling back on that. I think the expectations have been lowered, and I actually like that. Like, there's so much hype in New York. There's so many expectations. I kind of like the Yankees flying under the radar, which is near impossible for a team that is always in the postseason and that, like I said, went to the World Series last year, was the number one seed, won their division. But I just think that, the amount of injuries that they had in spring and the amount of new pieces that we have to see who and what they are in pinstripes has kind of just put a damper on the start of the season. Ticket prices aren't what they've been in the past. And just the conversation on WFAN and on Yankees Twitter has changed, where a lot of fans are already punting on the season like they can't win the World Series. Now, I'm not going to say that they can't win the World Series, but maybe they don't have to be a juggernaut. Maybe they don't have to win 100 games, be the one seed. All they got to do is get in, and I'm hoping that, they have a team that wins enough games, they add at the deadline, they get into the dance, and maybe it's a special year that way.
Now, obviously, they lost Juan Soto to the crosstown rival Mets in the offseason, and they brought on board two former NL MVPs, Paul Goldschmidt, who's going to be manning first base, and they also brought in Cody Bellinger. Can either of those two kind of combine to fill the void from Soto's bat? And like, who else within like the lineup can help carry the offense outside of Aaron Judge?
No one can replace Juan Soto. No one can be Juan Soto. Juan Soto is one of one. I put a ton of respect on his name because I watched every at-bat. I got to meet him last year. And as a Yankee fan, I had tears in my eyes as the Yankees won in the ALCS. And he hit the home run and caught the last out. That is in Yankeeography, Yankee classic forever. So, like, respect to Juan Soto. They cannot go into the aggregate and recreate Juan Soto's production. And what I also have been telling Mets fans about Juan Soto is, high tide raises all ships. He is going to make others around him compete more. He's going to make others around him have better pitch selection. It's infectious. His style, his approach, his work ethic, his BP, that rubs off on younger players and veterans. It makes all the guys tighten up because he brings it every day. Now, when you do add a Cody Bellinger, when you do add a Paul Goldschmidt, 2 former MVPs that you're hoping have more MVP-like seasons this year and don't have down years like they've had in the recent past, that definitely can help. A full year of Jazz Chisholm, I think, is going to be great for him and the Yankees. Austin Wells now is the leadoff hitter, and Austin Wells has had a lot of pop in the spring, and he's a guy that when he was coming up, they weren't sure about him behind the dish. They were talking about his bat more than him being a catcher, but he's turned out, pretty good with both. And then you add a guy like Jason Dominguez, the Martian, with a ton of hype. The guy's first swing, he took Justin Verlander deep. If that kid can hit 20 home runs, and you have guys like Volpe who hit a grand slam in the World Series, you expect to see him take a step forward. Who am I forgetting? Oswaldo Cabrera. I don't expect Oswaldo to be that much of a bat, but I expect him to be clutch and play with a flair. They've got guys, and I don't want to leave out Ben Rice, who we just got the alert that Ben Rice will make this opening day roster.
Oh, okay.
And he's hitting the ball harder than ever. This kid, he put on 5 to 10 more pounds of muscle. He made history last year being the first rookie to hit 3 homers in a game, and he's looking to build off that. He might get some opportunity to DH in here. So, they've got guys that can hit. Even a Trent Grisham being thrown into center field when they want to DH Judge. Trent Grisham will run into a couple homers. He's not going to bat over 200, but they have enough pop. They have enough run production in the whole lineup, right? There's not as many holes in the lineup. Like when you look at Alex Verdugo and Anthony Rizzo last year, those guys were zeros most of the time. They're not even signed right now. So the Yankees have an opportunity for the whole lineup to be strong instead of just the middle of the lineup or the 2-3 hitters.
Now, you brought up Jason Dominguez, and he, like you said, he burst onto the scene in 2023. I believe he had 4 home runs in 8 games before he went down with his UCL injury and Tommy John surgery. Played sparingly last year. Yankees fans obviously wanted Dominguez over Alex Verdugo last year, but manager Aaron Boone stuck with Verdugo's defense because Dominguez was still trying to learn a new position in left field. What are your expectations for Dominguez this year? What will make Yankees fans happy to see him accomplish?
Catch the ball. Catch the ball. That's number one on the list. Catch the ball. We know you can hit. We know you can run. We know you're going to run into some home runs and have some hustle singles. Catch the ball in the outfield. Take extra reps, fly balls, practice. Catch the ball, because if you handle the defensive side of the ball, the offense is going to be easier. If you struggle on defense, it's going to be in your head, and it's going to make hitting a little tougher. They're not going to ask him to bat leadoff, which the first spring game, he was the leadoff hitter. They're not going to put that pressure on him. So just catch the ball. Play good defense in left field. Take it upon yourself. Take pride in playing left field in Yankee Stadium. Catch the ball. Make those plays. Make the routine plays. And we know that you're going to hit some home runs, and you're going to hit some doubles, and you're going to, sprint out some singles to first.
And one thing you mentioned, you've told Mets fans would expect with Soto, but we've also seen kind of that rivalry of trash talk. So what has Soto signing with the Mets done for that Yankees-Mets rivalry?
I could talk about it all day, man. The little brother, big brother narrative is not going to go away, because Mets fans are forever little brother. And there's nothing more little brother-ish than prematurely proclaiming you're big brother now. So I even have this in my notes for my show tonight. This rebrand that they are in is phenomenal. With Steve Cohen, the richest owner in the sport, David Stearns, one of the brightest minds in the sport, them getting to the NLCS last year, and them being able to ride Grimace and all these other things, a playoff pumpkin and a rally pimp and hot Tua girl throwing out the first pitch. Great. But now you got to do it again. And now you got to, capture lightning in a bottle again. Now, don't get cold feet either, because like you wanted to swim in the big boy pool. The Yankees have to swim in that pool always. They're expected to win championships. They're expected to win the postseason. It's hard to do. But like, what did Juan Soto going from the Yankees to the Mets do? It's unprecedented. Nobody has ever chose Lil Bro over Big Bro. Nobody has ever chose to go to the B team over the A team for the rest of their career. But the money is what made him go. And now they've done this whole campaign of, no, there was more money out there. This is a family culture. This is a family vibe. I feel great about the future of the Mets versus the Yankees. The Yankees were in first place, but Steve Cohen really sold me on this vision. Please, if they miss the postseason this year, which they pretty much do, I think only have 3 times in their history where they've made back-to-back postseasons. Like, all of that is erased. So if you want to rebrand, if you want to sit at the big boy table, if you want to be respected and considered big bro in the city, you have to win. And Juan Soto is one of the instruments that can certainly help you get there. He's going to post. He's made for the bright lights, but he's one guy. He's going to bat 4 times, maybe 5. Hopefully he stays healthy and he's not a liability in the field. But, these Mets fans trip me out. Like, now I just saw they're going to do a race. They're going to do a race like they do in Milwaukee, like they do in Pittsburgh. I don't even know what they're calling it, the 5 boroughs race. They've got a giraffe for the Bronx Zoo, a pizza, a Staten Island ferry. Like, give me a break with all the gimmicks. I'm starting to call them the gimmicks.
Where's Pizza Rat in all of this?
There is a pizza. I'm like, please. I'm like, the dance crew wasn't enough. Is this a ballpark or an amusement park? They want to do everything but focus on what they have to focus on, and that's winning, competing at a high level year after year. If they have a drop-off this year, it doesn't matter what the Yankees do. The Yankees have built-in excuses, right? And the Mets have injuries too. They have a bunch of injuries. Francisco Alvarez, Frankie Montas, Sean Manaea, Jeff McNeil. They have a bunch of injuries too. But in this town, if the Mets have all this glitz and glamour, they're all flash and no substance, the Yankee fans will wear them out. They will not hear the end of it.
You mentioned injuries, and one thing, obviously, Yankees been devastated by it early, but again, it's next man up. So who's someone in spring training who, with that next man up, that opportunity you've been impressed by?
Pablo Reyes. And I mean, he might not actually get a chance to rock, but just spring training alone, I'm like, Pablo Reyes, I mean, he could be the starting third baseman with what he did in spring. He had a better spring than Oswaldo Cabrera. He's ahead of Oswald Peraza, if you ask me. Who else? Spencer Jones. They're not going to give the young boy a chance to, break with the major league club. But Spencer Jones impressed a lot of people. And George Lombard Jr., he's a young one too. But everybody's talking about the jump he made from the Tampa Tarpons to what he's going to do this year. I'm wearing a Somerset Patriots hat. I hope to see Spencer Jones and George Lombard at Somerset with the Patriots. I'm going out there the next couple of months. I got a couple games booked. But, yeah, those 3 guys, Pablo Reyes, Spencer Jones, and George Lombard Jr.
That's really the perfect transition. One thing is we've heard about potential trade targets. Alcantara, Cease, San Diego's probably, if they have their fire sale last year, going to shop them. Do you think the Yankees, one, have the farm system do it, and will they be willing to move top prospects to make a move for a guy?
I was talking about this last night, yo. I'm like, everybody's got all this optimism that we're just going to add at the deadline. Well, who's going to be the one adding or subtracting or standing pat? Is Brian Cashman. And Brian Cashman's track record at the deadline, like, he's given up a lot of pitching depth for guys like Frankie Montas, Joey Gallo, Andrew Benintendi, guys that did not pan out. And now, who's everybody coming to ask for? Guys that I just mentioned, George Lombard Jr., Spencer Jones, even like Will Warren and Jason Dominguez are going to break camp with the team. But like, the asking price is going to start at George Lombard Jr. and Spencer Jones, and they're not giving up those guys. So I wouldn't expect a big return in the in the trade deadline, but fingers crossed that, like, after what, we didn't do last year, we didn't have enough last year, but Jazz played a huge part in the run to the postseason, and Mark Leiter Jr., had some epic moments in the postseason, and those are two big acquisitions. They got was it Eniel De Los Santos or something, and
former Phillies legend.
They DFA'd him. They acquired him and had to DFA him, so that was a waste of time. But I'm just hoping that this Yankee team has it enough and stays healthy enough, but where they're not relying so much on the deadline. Like, they just picked up Ryan Yarbrough. Good. Like, more depth. I hope they get another bat here. I hope there's somebody else that they can add here, because I can't rely on the deadline, especially with the expanded postseason, where if there's 3 or 4 teams hanging around the last wild card spot, they're buyers now. They're not selling now. So, it's not a guarantee. It takes 2 to tango. You got to give to get. The Yankee tax is higher, and Brian Cashman, he does not get fleeced. He does not want to give up prospects. So it is not a guarantee that this team can just plug in a not a left fielder. Dominguez is going to be a left fielder regardless, but a third baseman, another ace. You know what I'm saying? Another bat, a right-handed bat. There's no guarantee that they can just get that done at the deadline.
Absolutely. I'll wrap with this. It's October. The Yankees are doing what?
It's October. The Yankees are in the postseason. The Yankees are doing what we expect them to do. They're hosting postseason games. They're not getting eliminated in the wild card. They might host a wild card, but like, the Yankees are finding a way in front of the Bronx Zoo, the bleacher creatures, the crazy fans on 161st and River Ave. They're finding a way to put Aaron Judge and maybe Giancarlo Stanton, back in the postseason in this championship window with a chance to win the World Series again.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to add, Keith?
I don't know, man. I'm excited for baseball in general. Like, I'm a Yankee fan, but I always say, we start these rides and we have no idea. Just 2 years ago, it ended up being Phoenix versus Arlington in the World Series. I didn't have that on my bingo card at all. Okay, the almighty Dodgers are supposed to just go back to back, but nobody goes back to back. Nobody's gone back to back since the Yankees did it. So let's be surprised. We don't know who it's going to be. I think baseball fans love the day in and day out of 162. And somebody's going to rise. Somebody's going to surprise us. Players, managers, teams, divisions. And we'll see where it all shakes out. But we got to take it day by day, series by series, week to week, month to month. Nobody can fast forward. But here we go. The journey starts again.
One more quick question. How are Yankees fans feeling about the Red Sox this season? Because they actually seem that, with the moves they made with Crochet and Bregman, they got the young kids coming up. They might actually be contenders for the first time in a while.
Yeah, I respect Alex Cora, and I respect his competitive edge and how, it means something to him to beat the Yankees. And I haven't been sleeping on them at all. When they added Bregman, I'm like, they didn't even need Bregman, but I mean, sure. It was a move, Crochet. Don't forget Walker Buehler. They anteed up this year because all of this talk about the American League being wide open. They're like, why can't it be us? I think they're going to be a thorn in our side. I think that it's going to be Yankees versus Red Sox. Not like the rivalry used to be, but it's not a guarantee that the Yankees are just able to beat them. Yankee fans, I think, are a little shooketh of what Boston could be in this division. Don't sleep on the Orioles and don't sleep on the Blue Jays either. The Blue Jays made some moves to get Anthony Santander and add Max Scherzer and Vladdy. If this is Vladdy's farewell tour, he's going to be swinging for the fences. So I think the American League East, with the injuries that the Yankees have, and the moves that other teams made, the American League East is going to be tight, at least to start the season.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much, Keith, for joining us today. Where can our viewers find your work at, and where can they listen to you at?
McPhersonbrand.com, at Keith McPherson on all social platforms. If you listen to WFAN, it's 101.9 FM in New York, 660 AM in the Northeast, but it's also on the free Odyssey app. If you download the Odyssey app, search WFAN. I'm on every night. Now that we're starting baseball, I'm usually on 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. talking to crazy fans, giving out awards to the, player of the night, the big shot of the night, we call it. And, just trying to enjoy the season. And like I said, take it day by day, series by series, week to week, month to month, until we get to the Fall Classic.
Thank you so much again for joining us, Keith.
No problem, guys. Do your thing. Enjoy the baseball.
Thanks. Go Phillies. Once again, big thanks to Keith McPherson from WFAN Radio up in New York. You can catch him on WFAN every Monday through Friday from 7 p.m. to midnight. Now, Matt, you put out a list this week of your MLB rotation rankings. Walk us through it.
Yes, it felt fitting, especially, and as I was doing it, one thing I realized is, wow, pretty much all of these teams are dealing with some type of injury right now. The Yankees obviously would have been the candidate to make it in, but you lose Cole and you lose Gill. That's a wrap for them. That went from top 10 rotation to, oh boy, buddy, I'm concerned. Padres were also in the mix, but with Yu Darvish sidelined for who knows how long with the elbow, they just missed out. Even my number 10 team, the Pittsburgh Pirates, Jared Jones is sidelined definitely with his arm issues.
That's a big blow for them.
Yeah, because the pitching depth behind him isn't great. I mean, when you're relying on former first-round picks who haven't exactly fared well, Mitch Keller can be fine, but he's not the guy we saw at the height a few years ago. Coming in at number 9, you're seeing a theme here. Another injury-plagued team with the Texas Rangers. Gray's going to be on the IL, 60-day with the wrist fracture. DeGrom, we talked about last week. There's going to be injury issues there. Rocker, Leiter, you're taking big chances there. I mean, they've shown some stuff. Rocker kind of struggled in the spring, but there at least hope there. But at least Texas has a little depth. I got to say, one team that I was really intrigued, two doing this. Obviously, the Detroit Tigers. There's so much youth there, and obviously led by who's kind of the best pitcher in baseball right now in Skubal.
Mm-hmm.
But just the Kansas City Royals. They had 2 top 5 guys in the Cy Young race last year. And it's just, they've done a really good job with kind of taking on these reclamation projects and just making it work. And I don't know, you get Bubich to really, if he builds off what he did last season, I have him 8 right now, but I could see top 6 at least.
Yeah, Cole Reagans is a stud. Absolute stud.
Yeah. Well, Kansas City has made Michael Wacha look good. They're just, they kind of keep doing it. And, there's these unassuming names. You're like, I don't know how good I feel about a rotation with Seth Lugo, Michael Lorenzen, Michael Wacha, but they make it work. And it's been pretty dang good for the past year plus. So, yeah, those are some teams I feel good about. And the others, again, mentioned Detroit Tigers came on in number 6, the top 5. You'll just have to see for yourself. But yes, the Dodgers are at number 1 because you could break the rotation into 2. And they would have 2 of the 10 best rotations in baseball.
And make sure to go to sportsnot.com to catch MJ's top MLB rotation rankings for the year. And now we are moving on to our MLB preview. Who do we have winning it all? Who do we got going to the playoffs? Who you got, Matty?
Yes, so we'll start with the playoff field itself. And I'm going to go in order. So this is going to be the first 3 division winners and then 3 wildcard teams in terms of the record. So in the National League, Dodgers will get that coveted first-round bye, of course. Other 2 division winners, Atlanta Braves, Chicago Cubs. Taking the wild card spots, it's going to be the Diamondbacks, the Mets, and someone's Phillies. Over in the American League, I'll start with the wild card teams. Baltimore Orioles, Seattle Mariners, and the Minnesota Twins. Even as the Minnesota Twins go through the sale process, that can be a distraction where they'll make it work. The division winners, the Texas Rangers, the Detroit Tigers, and the number 1 seed in the American League, the Boston Red Sox. I swear I'm not a Red Sox fan. Just the fact that I'm this confident in the Boston Red Sox this year is terrifying to me. But, yeah, that's my pick. And I will say it's a little chalk, but I'm going to have a World Series matchup between the Dodgers and the Red Sox, with Los Angeles coming out on top in 5 games. A gentleman's sweep, if you will.
Okay. All right. Now on my end, I got a little bit different. Obviously, Los Angeles Dodgers winning the NL West. I mean, nobody's they're just too good. NL East, I got, obviously I'm a bit of a homer. I'm going with my Phillies over the Braves and Mets. I'm just, the Braves, they lost Max Fried. They lost, Charlie Morton. You're hoping Chris Sale is staying healthy for the year. You're hoping Strider, finds his stride during the season and returns back to his dominant form. You're really counting on Reynaldo Lopez, who had an all-star season last year, and you're also really counting on Spencer Schwellenbach to make another leap. Obviously, they do have a dangerous rotation. And also on the lineup side, you got Acuna, who's coming back from another ACL tear. How's he going to perform? Matt Olson went from 54 home runs to 29 home runs over a season. Will he be able to have a bounce-back season? Austin Riley's coming back from a broken hand that limited him last season. And they also dealt with like a myriad of injuries. And also, it literally took the game 162 for the Braves to make the playoffs last year. So we'll see. But I do have the Phillies winning the NL East. NL Central, I got the Cubs. Also have them in my future, my bold prediction piece, winning the NL Central for the first time since 2020. I just think, they have a really good lineup now, anchored by Kyle Tucker. And their pitching rotation did get deeper with the addition of Matthew Boyd. And they kind of solidified their bullpen with Ryan Presley in there now. As far as my wild card teams, got the Arizona Diamondbacks, got the Atlanta Braves, and my last one, the Cincinnati Reds.
Interesting.
I am riding high with the Reds this season. I think they're going to be good. They have to stay healthy, obviously. Last year was just an injury-ravaged season for them. Spencer Steer is already starting the season on the IL. But I have high hopes for them. I think they're going to be sneaky good. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make a run in the playoffs. So, sorry, Mets fans, I do not have them in there. I just do not trust the rotation right now. Now, onto the AL side. Like you, got the Boston Red Sox winning the AL East. They just look really good right now. The division's wide open, especially with the devastating injuries to the New York Yankees. The Orioles not doing anything to upgrade their pitching rotation in the offseason. And as of right now, Boston Red Sox check all the boxes to win the AL East. AL West, I got the Texas Rangers bouncing back and taking the West. They have a really deep lineup. They have a really deep rotation. Obviously, health is going to be a huge factor, but man, if this team is able to, produce like they did 2 years ago, I mean, sky's the limit for them. AL Central winner I have this year are the Detroit Tigers. Young, hungry, upcoming team. You got Riley Green, you got Colt Keith, you got Kerry Carpenter. It does take a hit right now with Parker Meadows on the IL, so we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, the rotation, you got Drake Skubal rating AL Cy Young. You bring back Jack Flaherty, and you also have Jackson Jobe, who throws like 100 miles per hour every pitch, entering the rotation. So it'll be really interesting to see how he does in his first full season. As for my AL wildcard teams, Kansas City Royals, having them go back to the postseason back-to-back now. Also have Houston Astros in there, despite losing Tucker, Alex Bregman to the Red Sox now. They still have a good, solid core. They still have a good, solid lineup, led by Yordan Alvarez. That guy's a monster. He can hit 40 home runs. Isaac Paredes is a true pull ball hitter, and with it, 315 down the line to the Crawford boxes. My God, he could easily have 35 home runs this season. And let's not forget about Cam Smith, the top uber prospect. In a recent interview with the Athletics' Chandler Rome, Mauricio Dubon said that he believes Cam Smith will be the next 60 home run guy in the majors, which is huge talk coming out for a prospect like that. Wow. So I am a little bit sold on the Astros, and my last wildcard team I have going in is the Baltimore Orioles. I just think their offense is too good with Gunnar and Adley. I think the kids will take another step this year. I expect more from Jackson Holiday. and Colton Cowser. You still got Heston Kjerstad. Still got Kobe Mayo down AAA, who'll see time this year. So I got the Orioles in there. And my World Series matchup, I have the Dodgers over the Rangers in 7 games.
Interesting.
Sorry, I hate not having my Phillies in there, but
it's October. Your Phillies aren't going to go far.
There we go. Okay. But yeah, got the Dodgers over the Rangers. And now one of my big bold predictions I have, and you can see the rest on my MLB bold predictions piece on sportsdot.com. Drum roll. I got the Philadelphia Phillies trading for Mike Trout this season.
Fitting.
I feel like obviously I have the same amount of chance as becoming Pope as probably Trout does becoming a Philly. That's why they're called bold predictions. I look at it this way. Phillies are going to trade for a right-handed bat at some point this season. Their lineup is more than half filled with lefties, with Schwarber, Harper, Stott, Marsh, and Kepler in your starting lineup. Marsh is terrible hitting lefties. Stott regressed last year. You're really hoping for a bounce-back season for Kepler. Kepler has had a good spring, don't get me wrong. But, is it gonna translate to the regular season? We'll see. And because that lineup's so, left-handed heavy, and they just added Cody Clemens to the bench, who I like, but it's another left-handed bat. So at some point, they're going to have to trade for a right-handed slugger around the trade deadline. Would I love to see it be a healthy Mike Trout who could lift the Phillies back, into World Series contention, and him and Harper fielding an incredible, I'm not going to say dream team, but just this aura of a team around 2 of the greatest superstars in the generation. It would be incredible for us Phillies fans. So that is my big, bold prediction for the 2025 season. Go check out the rest on sportsdot.com. I have a lot more. Check out the other 29.
He does, and some of them are more realistic, shall we say.
There are some realistic, bold predictions. It's hard to find 30 bold predictions for every team.
Yeah, but using even unintentionally, dream team with the Philadelphia sports team is
we're not going back down that route. All right, we did it once in 2012 with the Eagles, and never again.
And I will give just one bold prediction, and again, be sure to go to sportsdot.com, check out Matt Higgins' piece. There's even stuff for every team, all 30 covered. But for my bold prediction, I'm going to say Sandy Alcantara is traded to the Atlanta Braves.
Ooh.
Just, one of those things where, hey, they'll see Strider's doing well, but we kind of have to watch his innings. Sale's on the older side. We need someone here who we can trust, who can just eat innings for us. And maybe the back end doesn't work out how we want. So, and again, Sandy Alcantara also comes with multiple years of cost control. And when you throw all that together, I think it's a no-brainer that Atlanta will decide, you know what? This is going to be our one big move, especially because, always important to MLB owners, he's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my bold prediction. And again, just be sure you go check out Higgins' piece because there's a lot more where that came from.
Well, thank you for that. And now we move on to our absolute favorite, the Immaculate Grid.
Immaculate Grid.
For the day. For those who are not watching at home and are listening over an audio device, for today's Immaculate Grid, we got the Kansas City Royals and San Francisco Giants in a box. We got the Royals and Phillies, Royals and Gold Glover, Angels and Giants, Angels and Phillies, Angels Gold Glove. And then played center field minimum 1 game for the Giants, center field for the Phillies minimum 1 game, and center field minimum 1 game for the Gold Glove. So let me get it up here. Do you see it on the screen?
I do not, sir.
You do not.
But, one thing we should is who shot there, and there's the Immaculate screen.
And there's the Immaculate screen. All right,
so I will start off with my Phillies.
Okay. So Phillies Royals. Oh, let me set the clock real quick. Stopwatch. Let's go. Phillies Royals. The great Sal Fasano. Let's go. 0.4%.
All right, I'm going to go Phillies and played center field.
Oh, no. I was going to do all Phillies.
Just give me the one, because this is one.
Okay.
I just, again, I have to thank Fantasy Baseball Podcast for this, because the name stuck. But Jorge Bonifacio.
Wow. You know who I was going to go with? That's a really good one. 0.03%.
Oh,
I was going to go with Tony. I was going to go with Tony Longmire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Your turn, sir.
All right. So Phillies Angels. We are going with Lance Parrish. 2%.
All right. Royals Gigantes. A player who I enjoyed seeing both in person and on TV. Gregor Blanco.
0.6%. Very good. Very good. Oh, man. I guess my turn, huh? Ooh. Let's see. Royals Gold Glover. Obviously, Alex Gordon's going to be the big one.
Yeah, we got
Angels Gold Glove. Oh, Darren Erstad. Yeah.
I'm always nervous.
Oh, 7%. Okay.
All right. So let's see. I'm going to go with Angels. Wait. You know what? I'm going to go an old name.
Which box are we doing?
I'm going to go with played center field and one Gold Glove.
Okay.
A name that we haven't heard from in a few years. Carlos Gomez.
Ooh. 0.2%. Nice one. Oh, man, my turn. Oh, boy. Oh, okay. Royals Gold Glove. Royals Gold Glove. Oh, man. Did Barreau win the Gold Glove for the...
There's the recent winner if you want to go chalk Bobby Witt Jr.
Did Angel... I don't know. Do I want to... fine, Bobby Witt. But that's going to be...
We have to take...
9%. Okay.
Which of... I will let you... Because it's the Giants. This is my wheelhouse. So I will say, which of these do you feel more confident picking?
Honestly, you do both. Do the last two.
Giants center field, we're going to go with Austin Slater.
Nice.
And this one I struggled with, so I just had to go with chalk, which is Benji Molina, which led to the Buster Posey era. Round us out, Benji.
How do you spell Benji?
Bengie.
Oh, there we go.
There.
6%. All right, 27.
14. Wait, 27. Yeah.
27. I'm happy with that.
That's a lot better than we did last week. So
it is a lot better than we did last week.
I
kind of want to see
percentage of what we did last week.
I do want to see. I guess we can't find out, but
you know what? I feel good now.
Yeah, Tony Longmire, right there. I wonder what percentage he would have had.
I will say that's one thing I would like if Immaculate Grid had, is you can see what percentage players were.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Well, Jorge Bonifacio, that was a great pick.
I'm surprised it's so low.
I'm not. 0.03%. We try to forget about those years, man.
Well, that's fair.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for us today on the Deferrals. Once again, thank you all for watching and joining along. Make sure to smash those like, subscribe, and notification buttons, as the kids say. Matt, would you like to close it out for us?
I would like to say, ladies and gentlemen, our dear friends, baseball season is back. First pitch is here. Let us enjoy America's pastime once again. See you next week.
Take care, everybody.